Hi everyone, welcome to the FAB for Crafting Tools collaboration. This is sponsored or co-hosted by Stamp Girl, who is Paige, and myself. Each month we are to use either dies, punches, embossing folders, or masks, or some combination of those four. So this month I'm going to show you what I used. I have 4 cards. The first card I only used mask and a punch. The second, all the rest of the cards I used all 4 of these items, and I'll show you that when we get there. And I don't have my mat down because I had a little coffee mishap this morning. Anyway, the first thing is I used these Plenty of Patterns decorative masks, and this is the sheet I used. I used all 4 of these. They're not going to show up good, are they? Anyway, I used all 4. Then I used the Checks and Dots embossing folder, just the dots. I used that on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th card. All the rest of these, well, I used these in color jewels on 3 of the cards, and I used the holiday rhinestones in Night of Navy on the 1st card. I used the Lovely You Cling Stamp Set, which I only used the Just Because, and I used the what are these called? Scallop Contours dies. They go with the Color and Contour bundle in the new annual catalog. To go with the Lovely You, I used the Lovely Labels punch, and 2 of them I used this fancier one, and 2 of them I used the more flat. And lastly, I used the In Color 2021-2023 6x6 Designer Series paper. I will try and link, it won't be right when this video goes up, but I'll try and link all the item codes to everything I used today for you in the description below. So let me just lay the cards out, and we'll try and keep this kind of quick, which I'm not known for, but I'm trying to do better. And then I'll just briefly explain. So this was the first card. This one was done in Fresh Freesia and Night of Navy. Now, this is one that I salvaged after the coffee spill. This one, and I think this one, yeah. And, or it might have been this one and this one. I can't remember. But this one, the masks, I must not have got it completely dry, and it has a little bit of bleeding. But that's why I put this strip across here. Here's where I used the punch. So mask and punch. And then I just used designer paper in the background and Fresh Freesia ribbon. And inside, just, they all are the same. They used a piece of whatever paper I used. And this one, I used a different paper than I did for the rest of them. This one has sort of like squares on it, almost like Tetris, a circle in a square kind of thing. So that's the first one. Then this one is on polished pink designer paper cut with the contour die, scallop contour dies. Here again I used the punch. This time I bumped this up on dimensionals. This background piece of Fresh Freesia I ran excuse me, through the dots embossing folder, and just a tiny little fake bow in polished pink and polished pink gems. And inside that, this paper is you may, well, I don't know if you can see it, but I'll show you a piece. 1 second. Nope, that's not it. Oops. This is what it looks like. Okay, and the other one, this is what it looks like, the first one I showed you. So that's the paper I used. And then the next one is on Pale Papaya background paper, polished pink. This is using the designer paper with the scallop contours. This has the dots embossing folder. This is the mask, and I used Pale Papaya with a little bit of polished pink, and I used my blending brushes to do all of those. I taped down a sheet, I taped the mask to a corner of a sheet of 8.5 by 11. So when you cut these, you just cut 6 inches in your trimmer, and then you cut it 3 inches, and then so this square is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then here I just stamped in pale papaya. Here's the punch. So punch, die, mask, and embossing folder. You can barely see in the background. I don't know if you can see the dots there. I think a little bit maybe. Anyway, and same for this one. This actually I did in soft succulent, but then I added some coastal cabana, which you can't really tell. So it sort of looked darker to me than soft succulent, so I went with the evening evergreen behind it in the dots folder, and the soft succulent designer paper, and then evening evergreen behind it on a soft succulent card base. Just a little fake bow again in evening evergreen, and here's where I used the punch again. So this one and this one have the flatter punch part, and this one have the fancy end punch from the Lovely Labels punch. So those are my 4 cards for the FAB 4 Crafting Tools collaboration. I had fun with these. I just wanted to do something with those masks and use some designer paper and new in colors, and there you have it. That's what I ended up with. I hope you enjoyed that. Please go check, if you did, please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment. I love reading your comments, and I really am trying to grow the channel, as everyone is, and using those thumbs ups really helps us get recognized by YouTube so that more people find us. And I greatly appreciate that. And please do go check everyone else out that's in the club. They'll all be linked below, and I'm sure they'll have some fabulous cards for the FAB 4 crafting tools. Thank you so much for watching. Hugs, love, and peace.